So I've been working on my taxes. But then it's like I need to figure out some stuff from my last year's taxes. So in May of 21, I got a letter from the Georgia Department of Revenue, the Office of Special Investigations. Well, dear Mr. Gaines, we require additional information. So they wanted my Schedule A. They wanted proof of my real estate taxes, personal property taxes, home mortgage interest, cash and non-cash charitable contributions, any other items claimed on my Schedule A. And then they also wanted stuff from my Schedule F. So Schedule F is my farm. So I looked at it and I went and looked at the letter that they sent me, and they go, here's what we have per your return, and here's what we have per our computation. And I've been sitting there just going over it, going, what's the difference? And I provided them all the information back in May, right? I uploaded it. And I was like, hey, I hadn't heard from those goofy butts. So I called them, well, we've not looked at it yet. It's since May, Jack. Unbelievable. Taxes, unbelievable. So basically what they've done is they've taken off their computation. They just dumped my farm. They just dumped it. It's like, we're going to pretend that Mr. Gaines does not have a farm, and anything that he did with his farming, we're throwing off of my income tax. What? Unbelievable. I mean, they think I'm using my farm as what? I've got pigs, y'all. I got goats. I had donkeys. I got the chickens. What's the problem? Sorry, Mr. Gaines, we have not looked at that yet. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. So I don't know what that means. And then, so they're telling me I did my taxes wrong, apparently, but I didn't. I've gone over and I'm like, that's my farm stuff. So now he told me today, he said, well, you need to receive all your farm receipts. And I'm, oh my gosh. So then here's what I did. I said, what if I just dump the farm? What if I go back to last year and I just took the whole farm off like I didn't have a farm? And it didn't change that much. So rather than me, I forget. Unbelievable. Taxes are so complicated, and they shouldn't be. I mean, they should do something to simplify that. It's really sad that they don't. That we have to spend so much time on tax. And now I'm like, I'm going on vacation next week. By the way, I'm going on vacation next week. So Beth says there'll be no classes. Ken, I hadn't even talked about Ken taking up classes next week. Ken, we'd love to have you. If we can't, we'll just all take a week off. But I'm going to be on vacation next week. Going to the mountains, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, all that area up there. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. And I think we have an indoor pool, which would be nice. But I don't know. Beth booked the whole thing. All right. So what are we doing today? The market is doing what the market does. It's the E-minis are down just tiny bit. NASDAQ down a little more bit. The AD is, anemic at 19. We've got a floor down here. Let's see. 15-minute range is kind of tight as it has been. Here's the cash open. We're under VWAP. We're under cash open. We're under the 15-minute range. We're under this pivot point. We're under the hourly midband. We're under the overnight high and another little point right here. And, NASDAQ doing what NASDAQ does. All right, so let's go look at our little shamonga here. Look at me throwing out the Fibonacci fans. What does that do, Bobby? Not really anything. It's just, I just want to put them on there. Every now and then I'll whoop out the Fibonacci fans. And I think it's kind of cool to use them. Just kind of whoosh, whip it out and see where support and resistance is. I don't put a lot of stock in it. It's just something I do to complicate my screen. All right, so price. Where is price today? Well, price on the E-minis is overbought. So wouldn't surprise us to see some filling of this gap a little bit before we maybe come back into this area. And as we said, the point of control is now here. So, maybe kind of a magnet and a little bit difficult for it to tread down, but we'll see over the coming days. Kind of interesting though, how that works. Look at these. That's always an area where battles will be drawn, battle lines will be drawn. So let's see what our NASDAQ people are looking at. How are they looking at now? NASDAQs are fairly priced now. So we see it has come from overbought to the fair price with our little fair price butt there. And if it spends a little time here, the point of control could move here, but looks like it may fill these gaps first and kind of waltz back down toward the 50% line. So this is more more bearish, I guess, than the, I don't know if it's more bearish, but a little bit bearish movement over the coming 10 days. That's about as good as this is, for. So, anybody see anything I didn't miss? I guess I could put a Fibonacci fan here just for the heck of it. Let's do one. Let's draw one. How would you draw a Fibonacci fan? Well, I'd go down from below, Bob, and then I'd let it go like that, and then I'd do something like that, and then I'd go, yay! What's that? And what does that tell us? I have no idea. But it is kind of neat, though, if you draw this line. Look, isn't it neat how that field kind of works there and how that field kind of works? I mean, it is kind of weird. I mean, that's weird, right? I mean, you'll at least admit to me that that's strange. Let's do that again. Give me that. Let's remove it. I'm like, how does Fibonacci know this? How does he know this stuff? Watch. So I'm going to draw it again. I'm going to draw it here. Then we're going to hook that line down there. That doesn't look as good this time, does it? What was I doing? Where did I want to put my Fibonacci? I don't know how it really looking. Oh, there it is. I don't know what I have no idea. Matter of fact, I'm going to remove that since I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so there's that. Let's go see what our screwdriver is saying for the day. Screwdriver, I could go to the 28 or the 32. We'll leave it at 28, and the 520 is going for about 97. Looks like 97. Going once, going twice. 97 going once, going twice. Is that really real? It's going up a little bit. Today is the year of our Lord 2722. So how's that look? So we still would anticipate the market to normalize at some point in the coming days. For that to happen, the market would need to cool off. Probably have a good old up move one day. We'll see if it does or not. All right, I've already checked my other spreadsheet, and there's no signals or anything today, so really nothing to do. Let's see if we're going to make a trade today. I've been really, really pleased with my ability to not overtrade lately, to get my buying power back in line a little bit. Let's start heading back in the right direction. So let's go to the monitor tab, and let's see. So we were up earlier, market's going down now, so we're kind of flat on the day. Let's see how everything's moving. The micros are doing great for me. The TQs are losing about the same that my micros are making, which is kind of cool. And TML, fix, everything is down. So let's see what VIX is doing today. What is old VIX doing? VIX is up a bit, 23.53. Let's look at the chart. No need to put in my VIX hedges now, not until I'm going to wait till we come down in this area. We might add another little tranche of those, but nothing to do today. Let's see how our and with our micros picking up, that must mean our little hedge, we must be down in it now, right? So here we go. Curve analysis, and the skew has gone up since 11. I had seen in past days that might herald a wilder day tomorrow. Huh. There you go. So we shall see. Look at there, y'all. We're in the whale, aren't we? We are coming down, baby. Remember when we were up here in the tail? Now we're in the belly of the whale, about to be spit out if we keep going downward. But everything looks good here. Nothing to do. Our little hedge is fine there. So let's look. The deltas in this are kind of subdued. 45. Vega's very manageable, and I've got a nice positive theta in this account. That's kind of cool. Like that. What are we doing here? Up a little bit. Let's see. We got manageable Vega. We got positive theta, which is what we want, and we've got subdued deltas until we kind of come out of the funk that we've been in. So I kind of like what we've been doing with our funk, right? So we bought these here, we bought these puts here, and we used the premiums that we got from selling the calls. So now we've got 3 calls. We could sell 6 calls and have them all covered. So no need to sell one today because the TQs are down a bit. So I mean, we could certainly do that on an up move. We could sell some more out. So I think we're looking pretty good. I just don't see a lot to do here. I see a lot to do. And I've got about, I don't know, $3,500 worth of buying power here. I could definitely put on a 111, but we're kind of letting those little boogers kind of expire a little bit. I don't want to get caught like I did before with too many of them on. Remember when I had to go in and start managing them? So we've got them out at 39 days, several there, got them at 21, and got them at 11. So there's really not a lot to do today. Just let my, we're not beta traders in this account now because we're letting the TQs do their little business. But I kind of like not being as active. That gives me a little more time to work on my Georgia Department of Revenue audit. I guess it's an audit. I mean, if you get a letter from the Office of Special Investigations, I mean, that sounds official. I mean, it really does. And for them to just take my entire farming operation and just throw it out, why would you do that? Why would you do? I mean, are you saying because I didn't send you the receipts of that? So I don't know why you throw out my farm. I just don't understand that. It's a farm. I wish you could look out. I see horses. I see pigs and goats right out my balcony here, from my little vantage point here. So I'm not sure what they're doing with the taxes. So anybody, how are y'all doing? Everybody doing good? I mean, we're just kind of letting this thing do what it needs to do. And I'm really proud because I'm just not overtrading. Just kind of watching it, just kind of letting it do its little thing. And let's kind of go over what our program is now. And the cool thing is I've got my students, my Alabama students. I got them doing back tests too. What's this? So let's see, Doug. Hope Doug doesn't mind me talking about him and showing his work. So Doug, Dougie Doug, I asked Doug to go back and do some back testing. So he went back to 2010. And Doug's a pretty sharp character, so I'm thinking he did pretty good here. So in 2010, he started with a $50,000 account, and he put it in TQQQ. Now his initial balance, I believe he did half of that into TQQQ. So he bought 43,000 shares of TQQQ. Can you imagine having 43,000 shares of TQQQ? So he was 50% cash and 50% TQs. And I didn't make them do the TMF. So I just wanted to see what it worked out to. But let's kind of see how this thing did. So he went from $50,000 and we did monthly rebalancing. So this is kind of checking it out monthly, right? So let's see how he did in 2010. So 2010. He was up 27%. Now, that ain't bad, y'all, especially if you're 50% cash, right? And you still make 27%. It's pretty good. So kind of remember, help me run through this. So he's ending the year at 63,000. So let's see what he does in 2011. 2011, he didn't do that good, did he? So he's kind of flat. He's still 63,000, but counts up 26% overall. All right, let's see 2012. 2012 did pretty good. So overall, and then this is, actual entire returns, he's up 60% now. All right, so let's go to 2013. And I told him never to rebalance. So had a really good 2013. So overall, the account now has gone from 50,000 to 112,000. It's up 125%. All right. So let's see, 2014. Looks like he's up 162%. 2015, he's up 175%. 2016, 142. So he's up 184. 2017, 173. Now he's really making progress. Look, he's up 247%. Let's go 2018. He's up 248%, 173. 2019, nice. right? 212. He's at 325%. 433%. 2022. Here we go. So he's up. He was up 500%. So his running profits over a 10 or 11-year period was $238,000, which is not bad, right? It's not bad at all. So let's see. How would you have done if you had put 25,000 into the SPY, right? 25,000, and then we'll do the 50,000. Well, let's do 50,000. Let's say he put the whole amount into SPY back on March 1st of 2020, 2010. Let's do that. Let's go portfolio visualizer. Oh, good, Ken. Yeah, I want to hear your comments about the tax link. So let's go to portfolio visualizer. Let's back test the portfolio just to see how it would have gone. So we'll start in 2010. What if we had taken 2010, the same amount of money, right, in year to include year to date? Yes, and we'll go initial amount 50,000. We put it all into the SPY and no rebalancing. We just let it run. Be interesting to see how that would have done, right? Reinvest dividends, yes. Rebalance annually, no rebalancing. There we go. No rebalancing. And we just go. I don't guess it matters if you rebalance because we're all in SPY. SPY. We're in SPY 100%. How do we do? All right, here we go. What kind of money? What kind of money we would have? We would have a balance of 254,674. Now keep in mind, here's the kind of cool thing though. So it's got a maximum drawdown of 19%, you know, your worst year, your best year, blah, 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 blah. So you would have made 254,000, putting your entire 50,000 into SPY, right? So how did Doug do? He did 288,000. Now here's what the powerful thing about this is though. Watch how much he's got in cash, okay? He's got 249,000 of that in cash. Is that amazing? Well, his last cash, 249,000. The dude's got 249,000 in cash. He's only got 630 shares of TQ for a total of 38,000. That's what I like about the AIM, right? I mean, you can pop off some cash in these bull markets. So what you would theoretically do is rebalance when there's a big move, when there's a big down move in the TQs, so that you could take your cash and, you know, put 20,000 of that or 30,000 or 40 or 50,000 back into TQQQ. So I love that. So he went from 43,000 shares, and now at the end, he's down to 630 shares. He's barely got any in the TQs, and he still generated a return in excess of what 100% market exposure in the SPY would have done, which is really, that's what I wanted the students to see, is the power of, you know, taking some off the top when things go up. So look at that. That's really, really cool. So let's see. Now, what would have happened if you had, now here's the thing that makes you sick though. What would have happened if you just put 50,000 into the Qs? I mean, into the TQ. If you did 50,000 just into TQ, and that's what's going to make you sick. Well, let's do portfolio number 2. TQ. And of course, no one knew this, right? No one knew that it would do this, but it's kind of fun to watch. So let's do 100% there. Let's see what that turns out to be. 50,000. Can you imagine? Ifs and buts, candy and nuts, what they say, would have Christmas all year long or something. Unbelievable. You believe that would be $50,000 investment would have been $4 million. Of course, you would have had a 50% drawdown, and that drawdown would have come in February to 2020 to March 2020, which would have been the Corona scare. But even so, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Boy, that's beautiful. But nobody would have had the cojones to, you know, hold through that, which is really, really, really neat. Let's see what y'all saying now. doing okay, down 400 on the year. Been taking off 111s that are profitable. Actually, I'm lightening up a big time in all accounts. Holding cash, poised to buy TQQs when the market, and that's exactly what you do. That's what you try to do, is to buy them on the down moves. Good. All right, Kim, what were you going to say to us about taxes?
Okay, first of all, when it comes to taxes, I'm a blue ass baboon, so take this with a grain of salt. But 22 years ago, the tax man went after me, and I didn't. I said, screw this. I'm gonna take him on, and I know how to beat the tax man. So that's my qualifications. My dad owns a farm up in Kentucky, and I swear he's in partnership with the USDA, and they pay 50% for his barn, 50% for his fence. They give him money to grow stuff. They give him money not to grow stuff. So my suggestion, because you're dealing with the Georgia revenue idiots, I'm having fun with them too, by the way, is go over to your USDA county. I don't remember what they call them, county agents.
Yeah, the county agent.
Get in bed with him and see if he can't get you a new barn or something. And what the point of this is you got the feds involved with your agriculture. And normally you don't want the government to have anything to do with you, but you can go, if the USDA is helping you out, that is like serious bona fide evidence that you got a farm. And that should help. That should just keep those Georgia idiots off your back. And that's what I wanted to say is they're doing, this is what happens in an audit. It's like, you got to prove to the last penny, that you really do have a farm, and that's really, and that's one of the easiest ways. If they had seen on the federal returns and stuff like that, USDA, anything like you got some money for a fence, then they would, I think they'd have left you alone. Right now, they're thinking that you're BS them, for whatever reason. I guess a hedge fund manager and a farmer don't mix in their eyes.
Yeah, I guess not. And they didn't say anything about the hedge funds or the businesses or the Delaware.
Well, you're retired too. I mean, well, that was, sorry, you weren't retired back then.
Yeah, not back in 20. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, this is typical. I mean, that's one of the reasons the rich fat cats get farms. My dad got a farm, and he makes more money from the government than he does off the farm. And he sharecrops some stuff, and he raises cattle, beef cattle, and I mean he's doing all right, and he ain't working hard either. So it is something that you can make viable. But like I said, the USDA might be a big help to you in this matter if you get them involved. That may not help this audit, but don't let the bastards get you down. You can beat them,
Yeah, but I mean, because I thought, the easiest thing would be just to dump my farm off my tax return. But yeah, I mean, those are legitimate things. I mean, now I got to go to Amazon and show where I bought my, let's see, I bought a shock collar, training collar for my dogs, and my dogs are to protect my livestock. So I got to get all the Amazon receipts and send it to them. Then I got to show them, I guess, that y'all remember I told you I made $325 net or gross revenue on my farm because I sold it. No, I think I'm up to 600 now because I sold a couple of goats. So, I mean, it's legitimate stuff. It's just, now they're like, well, you've got to send me, if you bought goat feed at Daniel Jackson Feed Mill, you got to show me that receipt. And I'm like, okay. I just...
when you buy your critters, do you is it a handshake or you got a paper receipt to go?
Yeah, we do paper receipts, and all the animals that I get are registered. So they're registered.
Okay.
That was one thing we wanted to do. So they've all got registration papers and all of that.
That should shut the argument down right there, because most places are zoned, even in the county, where you can't have farm critters unless it's zoned farmland. So and so it's just it's a nightmare. And I've lived in states that didn't have state income tax, so I come to Georgia, and I'm like scratching my head. I can't comprehend their idiotic form. If it wasn't for TurboTax, I'd be in trouble. And it's a mess. And I think it's they're just you made some money, so they want to clip you. And so I'm gonna leave my political comments alone because this is a subject that makes me mad.
Well,
So
it's funny that I've never, been questioned on my taxes ever. This is the first time I've ever got a letter of inquiry, and it has to do 100% with the farm, which is,
yeah.
you know, yeah. What do they think I'm doing? I mean, God, come on out here. I'll
Yeah.
show you my pigs, my goats, my chickens, my duck,
Yeah.
whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It's here.
You see, the devil in me would say, well, since I submitted this in May and you haven't even looked at it, I will send you these receipts in 10 months or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it's enough to make you madder than hell. So
Well, it
you're taking,
is, and the good thing, I think what they hate. Here's the thing, y'all, that I don't pay a lot, if any, Georgia taxes, and the reason is, I get an adoption tax credit on state income because 4 of my 5 children are quote unquote special needs children. And what does that mean? That means that in the state of Georgia, they were in foster care for over 24 months before we adopted them. And they give me a tax credit that accumulates. So during most of my life, I didn't have any Georgia income because I worked totally in Alabama for so many years. So, I've got all these credits for Georgia. I don't think they like that I have all these credits too.
also, I think I remember reading somewhere, I don't know how true this is, but I only paid $481 in Georgia tax, and I do all right. And I think that it is they don't tax your pension income or they don't tax your Social Security. I mean, so I paid tax on what my wife made as a pastor and the money I made in the market, and I'm happy to be paying tax on what I make in the market because that means I'm making money.
Major making money. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So many times it goes, life would be simpler as a trader moving to Puerto Rico. They say that Puerto Rico is the place to go if you're a trader, because they have such favorable tax laws. One of my friends had looked into it at one time, but I can't see me going to Puerto Rico. I love where I live. That's the problem. I love this. I can't imagine being anywhere else. It's like the prettiest little piece of land in the prettiest little place. And I'm so close to Alabama. I'm right here at Georgia and I just love it. But yeah, every now and then when you go, well, Florida doesn't have a sales tax, Tennessee doesn't have a sales tax. Some of those places start looking good, but then you got to worry about the added sales tax that they have and everything. I don't know. We're just taxed to death. We really are in so many ways. I mean, you think about the money that we pay in fuel tax, I mean, it's probably what, 40, 50 cents a gallon on fuel tax. I mean, it's a lot of money. And we just pay a lot of taxes, and we really don't get all that much for it. I don't know. It's unnerving when you get these things, and especially when I provided the information in May, and I talked to the little fella today. They haven't looked at it, just have not looked at it. So,
Yeah, well, that's a point in your favor. And is just the further you get away from government, the better off you are.
oh, and it's true. And it's true. I mean, it really
about
is.
next week, I can't do all Monday through Friday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Partly because I got 3 doctor's appointments. I'm getting a new leg, and I'm and I got some other stuff going on. So that's what's going on there. But I'd be happy to do a couple of days. But the thing is when I've been doing it in the past, I'm coming up with a trade thing or an idea or some kind of thing, more like a lecture or a class than what you do, where you go and say, here's what I got. So I was thinking, people may not want to hear me flap my gums over that. And so I'm not sure. I would be, I got a little Dinkum's account. I'm quite willing to share with everybody and show what's going on. But what I'm doing is not very sexy. But I'd like to. Maybe I would do that if the folks would like to see me do it.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, and just let everybody know, which day or something that you'd be available. I'm sure they would love it.
Yeah,
Beth is she's already given me hey, we're not doing that on vacation, you know, and I understand that totally. So we're excited about it and about, you know, being on vacation. I tell everybody should try to take 4 vacations a year. I mean, you got to get away from stuff. You really do. And just, you know, unplug sometime. And I
Well,
really
that's what I
like,
do. Yeah.
yeah, and I really like what I'm doing now. I've unplugged a little bit. I'm not over trading. I'm just slowing down a little bit, you know, still doing our little thing and got our little plan together, and let's let it work. And a lot of times you go, wow, it's just slow working, isn't it? But now I've accumulated 600 and something shares of TQQQ. Now, keep in mind, the spreadsheet wasn't totally accurate by the time I was accumulating those shares. So I probably over accumulated. I think I've done that. But now that we've got the spreadsheet working and everything, I think we're really, really good. All right, guys. Well, yeah, Kent, I'm sure everybody would love and, you know, ask a little poll in there, see if there's something they want to do and let them know what days you'll be available. And I think that's all I've got today. Just kind of a slow little day and just watching the market. And I'm going to get back on my taxes and we'll plow through the 2021 taxes. Unbelievable. All right. See
Yeah,
y'all.
those are, oh, wait a minute, one sec. Well, those
Yeah.
who are listening still, shoot me a, you know, a private message or whatever of something you want to hear about.
Yeah.
And anything. You know, and I mean, even I'm a weird guy. Like, unlike most people here, I'm only 50% quant. The other half, I believe you can predict the market. And so if someone wants to go off into I'm gonna call it the esoteric bushes, I'd be happy to go down that path just for fun, maybe. I don't know. Whatever y'all want. It's what I ain't subbing for Bobby for my sake. I'm doing it for hopefully for your benefit. So anyway, that was my comment. That's all.
Good deal, Ken. Y'all have a good day and I will see y'all tomorrow.